Coach, tough one tonight. Obviously, tough bitter pill to swallow here. Talk about the mood in the locker room and what you said to the team following the game.
Well, I told them that obviously it doesn't feel good. It's not a good feeling to lose, especially to lose a game like that you fought so hard with. And I mean, we had so many not that it's an excuse, but we had so many injuries, and we just kept battling back. So I'm proud of them for that. I'm proud of the guys that had to step in, that had to step in and replace, the guys that got injured. So, we just got to keep getting guys ready and increase our depth and come back. And I told them that similar to 2 years ago when we lost Ave Maria, that was a heartbreaker. I said, I told them then, I said, this game is going to help us win a game down the road, and I think it helped us beat Shorter. And this year, I told them the same thing. I said, this game ultimately will help us win a bigger game down the road just by what we've learned from it. So, you got to move on. The most important day is today, and tomorrow the sun is going to come up, and we're going to have to move on to the next day.
The physical nature of this game, can you tell us, can you give us an update on Mark Cato and how the rest of it, this was such a physical game, Coach?
It was a physical game. This was a very good football team. It was physical. It reminds me a lot of teams like West Alabama and North Alabama. I mean, they were good football teams. So, we just got to see on Cato. We just have to see. I don't know. I suspect that if it's questionable with any of those guys, Trevor Sand, Mark Cato, I think Tevin, Jazz Gamble. I mean, if it's questionable with any of those guys, we won't play them. We won't play them next week, and we may not play them the week after. We got to get ready for the Gulf South Conference. Not that we're overlooking these next two games, because we are 100% not. But this game definitely took a toll, and we got to get back into football shape.
Talk about Sean Ashley. He came in and really performed well in the second half for you.
Yeah, he did. I was proud of him. It was a little shaky at the start, and he kept saying, "Coach, I got to get in a rhythm. Let me get in a rhythm." And he did. He got into a rhythm there in the second half, and looked really good. Made some really nice throws, and so that was good.
And you told me, but Kenny
Johnson is one of the biggest mismatches on the field, and when you pair Gabe Hughes with him, I'm telling you, Gabe draws so much attention, and then you have a second tight end like Kenny that can get down the field, and he had a big game, and I'm happy for him having a big game. I know he'd rather have the win, but he did a really nice job.
And then just talk about Drake. I mean, almost got it. I mean, you have that faith in him, though, real early.
Yeah, I knew he had the leg to do it. It's just a matter of whether he hit it straight, and I thought for sure it was in. And slid a little left, and obviously hit the upright. And he's a very strong leg kicker that is going to have a chance to hit a lot of those for us. And hopefully they're not all last second game, to win or tie the game, but on his first night on the football field, first game, he hit all of his extra points, and he almost hit a 58-yarder to win it, or whatever it was.
And then talk about Mark and Trevor. Is it left wrist on both? It kind of looked like that's what.
Trevor's a wrist, and Cato's an elbow.
Okay.
That's as much as I know right now.
Yeah. And then finally, just what do you work on this week just to get ready now for next week with so many injuries, but yet tough loss?
You just got to keep grinding. You got to get them back. We'll take the day tomorrow and look at the film, and they'll have a day off on Monday, and they got to come back Tuesday and put it behind them and get ready to practice. And we got 3 practices to get ready for Southeast Louisiana.
A quick question, Coach. Can you talk about the fan support tonight? How pleased were you to see all these people out here?
It was great. It was absolutely, home side was packed. They were loud, and we definitely heard them, and they cheered with all their hearts, and just like our players played with all their hearts. So they were obviously a big support, and hopefully we get it every game.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about the rushing attack tonight, the run defense. Is it something that they were doing tonight that you guys couldn't adjust to, or were they just,
anytime you have a quarterback that like they have, and you can run the ball with a quarterback like them, like they have, it's a threat. It's a threat, and we were able to stop them at some times, but then they had a couple big runs on us, and then obviously the last drive, they just kind of nickel it down all the way down there, and bottom line is, we got to get a stop. We got to get a stop in the last minutes of a game, and we just can't rely on offense to, go down and score the last drive to win games, because if we rely on that, obviously we're going to have our hearts broken quite a bit, So it's a hard thing to do, So in that situation, we had him pinned back there pretty good, and we got to get a stop right there.
A lot of coaches like going on the road and kind of seeing their team build some more chemistry. Are you one of those coaches? What are you going to do during the week leading up to the road game? Do you guys do anything on?
No, we don't do anything different other than just when we leave out on Friday. But I do love going on the road. We get a little bit. I love being at home too. Don't get me wrong, but going on the road, you're in the hotel, you're secluded, you got everybody in one spot, you know where they're at, and our guys, it's enjoyable for them as well.